So if you're in 2022 and you haven't got a high paying skill yet, listen up, because this could change your life. Also guys, watch till the end. I'm going to be showing you a list of everything you need to know to be able to say you can code. So if you can learn everything on that list, you can code. Okay, back to the video. So I'm going to break this video into two chunks: mindset and coding. And also, don't worry if you're not in college or in boot camp. If you're doing this stuff self-taught, don't worry, I got you. This is exactly how I did it. Part 1. Mindset. So coders solve problems. There's always going to be problems to solve, and it's our job as coders to find those answers. Don't start complaining it's your laptop's fault. Code never lies. There's always a solution, and as long as you can understand that, you can be a developer. The same way a plumber goes into his toolbox, or the way a chef picks out the right knife, that's the same way a coder goes into his toolbox, which is Google. And these are all the tools we got. So when you're doing a Code Wars problem and you don't know what a function is, Google it, function W3 schools, and see what you can find. Maybe play around with the code on the website a little bit. Or if you're trying to design a component for a website, you can go on YouTube and look for someone who's done it in your language. There's nothing wrong with tutorials, just don't use them as crutches. And if you get frustrated because you keep getting the same error, then search that error on Stack Overflow and see what people have done. These are the tools you're going to have to learn in order to be a developer. Let me explain it this way. Learning to code is easier when you think of it like a puzzle. Imagine one finished puzzle is the equivalent of one language you're trying to learn. The way you have to approach it is, if every day I can add one piece to this puzzle, so even though you can't see it yet, and you don't know what the finished image is going to be yet, slowly but surely you will start to understand. It will start to make sense. And don't get me wrong, I know that period is hard. It's hard to suck at something every day and then go into the next day knowing you're going to suck at it again. But do you want to know the secret? This is also the secret to happiness, by the way, so take notes. The secret is self-discipline and patience. So when you're sitting there learning JavaScript and you're wondering why it doesn't make sense, just think, I haven't filled enough pieces of the puzzle yet. But it's okay, because as long as I fill in one at a time, I know I'll get there. There'll be a phase in the first 2 weeks of coding where you feel like you understand everything and it's sunshine and rainbows, but there will be a dip. And it could last 2 months. 3 months, maybe 4 months, or you just feel like you don't understand anything. Keep going, you will succeed and you will understand it. Go through the damn months, however many it takes. That's the people I'm making this video for. Part 2, learning to code. The key here, guys, is to learn one language to a very competent standard. I recommend JavaScript. I think it's the best. It's the most used language in the whole world, and there will always be demand in the job market for that. But yeah, this is exactly how I do it. I would learn HTML and CSS first, using Free Code Camp and some other resources like Odin Project. But remember, you don't have to pay for anything when learning. You can learn this all for free on YouTube. That's exactly what I did, and that's how you can do it too. After spending some time learning the HTML CSS fundamentals, I made a Twitter clone from scratch. And don't get me wrong, it was hard. I had to figure out a lot of things like Flexbox, SVGs, learning how to inspect, learning about all the different kinds of tags and containers. But I still think it should only take you around 2 to 4 weeks to get through HTML and CSS. You should be able to go through all the fundamentals by then and maybe make a few projects as well. Now this is when it gets exciting. The next thing we'll do is JavaScript. I'd start by getting John Smilger's Udemy course on JavaScript and going through the sections in that, but then simultaneously, after I finish each section, make my own project using the skills I just learned and trying as little as possible to use tutorials. And alongside all of this, I'd be doing 10 to 30 minutes of Code Wars every day. Code Wars is a great game you can play, and you can start with easy 8KU questions and go up the easier it gets. Like and comment this video if you want to see a specific video about how I would use Code Wars to learn coding. But guys, listen, don't fall for the trap of tutorial hell. As long as you rely on tutorials, you'll never really know how to code. So start now building things from scratch. You can use tutorials, but just remember, if you're going to use one, try and replicate the same thing without the tutorial later on. That way you can solidify your knowledge. And trust me, I know it's hard. No one wants to be bad at something, especially for months and months every day. And that's the journey of life. But let's not get too deep. All these principles can be applied to any skill, by the way, as well. So this isn't just for coding. Always remember, self-discipline and patience. It's also important to have the right mentors, so make sure you subscribe for more coding videos. But for the moment you've all been waiting for, this list here is everything you need to know in JavaScript. If you could talk to me competently about 90% of the things on that list, congratulations, you now know how to code, and I knew you could do it. Thank you to my boy Fido, Aftab, Internet Made Coder, so many more names to mention. I'll put a list of names here. Thank you all for inspiring me to learn to code. And without you guys, I wouldn't be here right now. Learning to code was one of the best decisions of my life, and I'm so grateful I did it. Like and subscribe for more videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.